Hi, everybody, and welcome to Pinal Prep Spotlight, brought to you by Jones Ford Buick GMC, your hometown dealer for more than 50 years. I am Brian Wright, and I am joined by Maria Vasquez, and we are talking more Pinal County basketball this week. And we're going to talk about the Vista Grande boys basketball team. And I think the first thing that jumps out when I look at this team is that even though they are on a losing streak right now of 5 games, the big picture here is that this team only won 4 games last year. They went 4-22, and so they have doubled that win total. They are 8-13 overall, and that's a big deal. So they have played much better than they did a season ago. However, they do play in a very tough 4A Keno region, which is part of the reason why they are on a losing streak. But Maria, when you take a look at the Spartans, what are some of the reasons that they are playing better?
Well, two of the main reasons the Spartans have done better this year is Devin Bradford and Chris Long. Now, these two guys are a junior and a sophomore, and the bright side is the Spartans still have a couple more years left with them, and so far they're averaging around 13 and 12 points per game, and they're also the leading rebounders for the team.
And I think one of the big things about this team is defense. I mean, when you look at the Spartans, they're not a really explosive offensive team. They only average about 49 points per game. But this is a team that really can defend. And, I mean, the way it's going to win more often than not is going to be, these low-scoring games that they're able to kind of grind out. And I think another thing that Coach Hank Bias told me is the reason that this team is playing better is they are a closer team. They are more together now than they were a year ago, and they are playing more unselfishly, which is helping them out. Maria, if you can, kind of give a take on the 4A Keno region and kind of what things are going to look like for the Spartans the rest of the year.
Well, it's not an easy region for the Spartans. I mean, besides CG Union, they're pretty much outmatched with their other opponents in CDO, Saguaro, and South Point Catholic. So, with that being said, this is a great learning experience for this young group that Hank Bias has this year. And given how they've started off this season, I expect a brighter future ahead for them.
Yeah, and again, talking about that 4A Keno region, I mean, outside of CG Union, every other team is in playoff contention. So you've got Catalina Foothills is number 1 in 4A, South Point Catholic is number 4, and then you have CDO at number 17 and Tucson Saguaro at number 19. So you've got 4 teams in the top 20 there, so a very tough region. And, Vista Grande has now gone through and played each of the other 5 teams in the region once. Like I said, they are 0-5. They had a very knockdown, drag-out game against Union that they just lost by 4 points. And then the other games did involve a couple of not-so-competitive games, but they also played pretty well at CDO, only lost by 10 at CDO. And now they're going to get to go through the region schedule basically one more time. So each of the teams, like I said, they played once. Now they're going to play those 5 teams one more time to finish the season. So I think for them, they definitely want to beat CG Union, which is a very realistic goal for them. And then I think they really would like to win one of those other games against one of those playoff contenders to finish the year on a bit of a high note. Maria, any final thoughts on the Spartans?
Well, trying to beat one of those remaining teams, that's a tall task. But crazier things have happened, and they might be able to pull it off.
Yeah, and just one other thing that I wanted to mention is Maria talked about they do have some youth on this team, and of course numbers have always been a problem. I mean, they only have about 6 or 7 guys on this team given week to week, so not a lot of numbers. But sophomore Chris Long is a very promising player for them. Averaging about 12 points and 7 rebounds, and he is a tall guy already. The roster doesn't have heights on it, but I'm going to go ahead and guess that he is at least 6'6" already, so that's a player to watch for Vista Grande. All right, well, let's get to our what to watch. And Maria, what do you have this week?
All right, my what to watch is the Maricopa girls soccer team, and currently they are ranked number 22 in the Class 5A power rankings, and they have a 6-2 record in PowerPoint games. And of those 6 wins, 5 of them have been shutouts, and that's saying a lot for what Coach Courtney Kilners has been able to accomplish this year with the Rams, given that the 3 goalies listed on their roster are all freshmen. So, I expect the Rams to possibly make the playoffs, but they have a difficult region with 3 of the top 10 teams in the same region.
And I'm going to keep it in girls soccer, and I'm going to talk about sophomore Zidali Padilla at ALA Ironwood. And even though the stats up on Max Preps are incomplete, she is credited with 20 goals already, and if you just look at the last 2 games that the Warriors have played, I mean, they played Coolidge on January 21st. She had 4 goals, and then they played Florence on January 23rd, and she had 5 goals. So 9 goals in those back-to-back games. So very impressive out of her. And the ALA Ironwood girls team is at number 25 in the 3A rankings, so kind of just on the bubble there for playoff contention if they can creep into that top 24. That does it for our show this week. Remember to visit PinalCentral.com for all of your winter sports action, and we will see you next week.